Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Oh my gosh, it's not even evening. It's like nighttime. It is 12:07. I hope everybody is doing good tonight. A lot of you guys may be asleep by now. It's again, it's 12:07 Eastern Standard Time, and I really should be in bed by now, but I'm not in bed. And the only reason I'm not in bed is because um I've just been going through some stuff, and I was reading a book earlier, and it made me think. It really made me think, and I thought back on some things that I had gone through as a child, and it really, really, it gave me one of those, whoa, you know. And I wanted to come in here tonight. Um, And here's the thing, I thought about this before I got on. I said, "Why are you getting on at night?" And I think it's kind of I think it's a safety. I'm serious. I think it's a safety. I'm like, okay, because this has I don't want to have to I don't want to have to hide. I feel like I'm hiding behind something. You know what I mean? I do. I feel like I'm hiding behind what it is that traumatized me as a child, and here it is, midnight, and now I want to come out and play, or now I want to come from behind the wall. And as I was getting ready, getting prepared to come on and talk to you guys, because I jotted a few things down that I wanted to talk to you about, and all of a sudden I started feeling like what I was about to talk to you guys about. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So as I come on here, it's therapy for me, but I'm hoping that I'll help somebody as well to overcome some of the things that they may be experiencing or have experienced also. And maybe it'll help me. I'm hoping it'll help me and you at the same time as we go through this thing. um and I guess I could call it a repair, because in some ways I'm broken, and in some ways other people are broken as well, but we just don't know how to fix it. So that's why I'm here so late tonight. I when I tell you I almost didn't get on here tonight, um I didn't. I was it was kind of I was kind of scared. I was kind of scared. So let me share this real quick, and then I'm gonna jump right into it. So what are you guys doing? Who is up late at night? I think it's so funny how a lot of times we'll say, "Hey, I'm going to bed," or we'll jump off the phone and say, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go to sleep," and we'll go and get in the bed, but don't actually go to sleep. So I'm gonna see if I can share this real quick. Um, that's if I can. If I'm doing my best, but I don't want to take a lot of time doing this. Let's see. Am I live? I'm looking to see if I'm live. I don't even see me. I don't even see me yet. But guys, if you would just give me one hot second. Um, yeah. Just I think I made myself nervous. I think that's what it is. I do. I think I made myself nervous. I can't even find my there it is. I'm getting to know this thing. But like I said, I wanted to do this earlier, but I wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling like I just and like I said, I think like I said, it was a safe thing. I feel like it and coming, hide behind walls and stuff. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. And I know a lot of people go through that. You are looking for you're looking for an outlet, you're looking for a place where you can be yourself, and then certain things you'll talk about or do during the daytime, but at nighttime, that's when you want to go out. That's when you want to come out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just kind of how I am explaining it to you, and it's only, and I promise you, it's only because of the traumatizing. That's it. But you have to be able to really, just be honest about it. It's okay that you even say it, because when you're in denial, it's going to keep coming up and keeping you back, right? And I don't want that for myself, and I don't want it for anybody else. So one of the things, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is it's like, what fitting in. Um, and the reason I'm talking about fitting in tonight is because it happens to us every single day. It's happening to us 24/7. We're trying to figure out, where do we fit in? And you're probably let me tell you why I want to talk about fitting in. I was thinking about when I was being bullied when I was in middle school, and I thought about my feelings. I thought about, why did this happen to me? And I thought about, okay, so it happened to me, to teach me a lesson. And the lesson was for me to help other people to get through it. And one of my feelings, and it's not even, it's a feeling, but I didn't even realize it was a feeling, and it's anxiety. I've always said that I don't have anxiety. I have. I don't have anxiety, but I really do. I don't know. I don't know how I missed that one, but I feel anxiety. Certain things happen, or some people say something, like if there's someone says something in an authoritative state, I'll back down. I'll hush up. I won't say nothing. I'll just sit there, clam up, and just listen. Sometimes that is a good thing, and sometimes it's not a good thing. It's more like, I'm doing a pullback. So that pullback isn't really good. That pullback sometimes is that little kid inside of me protecting itself, saying, hush now, be quiet and listen. That girl's gonna come over here and slap the shit out of you. And that's literally what I was thinking. And it's like, whoa. So the anxiety is new for me. And I think because I've decided to use that word and associate myself with it now, it really bothers me. And I think that's why I can't sleep tonight. So I'm hoping that I can help myself get to a place where I can actually wind down. And I'm not saying that anybody out there who's suffering from anxiety is a bad person, but for me, it's not something that I've ever associated myself with. And what I did was, I looked at it. I looked at the word anxiety, and I'm like, why would you feel anxious? And most of the times when I felt anxious, I didn't feel like I fit in. I spent a lot of my childhood by myself or playing with my cousins. I mean, they're my cousins. I didn't do a whole lot of going over to friends' houses, because I had one good friend, but I didn't spend a lot of time, doing a lot of things. And one was because I didn't want to be mistreated. If I found a friend, or a friend and their family that really treated me well, I would stick with them. I would, like, okay, forget everybody else. I'm gonna stick with them. And I remember before I met this little girl that did these things to me. I was um, friends with some of my neighbors, and some of us were still really good friends, but um, some of them I remember just certain things that I we would certain things that we would go I would go to their house, and they would do something or say something, and I'd stop going over their house, or I stopped playing with them simply because of what I went through with that other girl. And before I had the encounter with her, I was good. I was good. But so the thing about let me go ahead and get into it. The thing that and I was thinking to myself, am I an introvert? Am I an introvert? I'm still trying to figure that out. But me being anxious about what I'm about to do, being afraid, not knowing how to feel, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I was like, okay, why don't I fit in? Why don't I fit in? And the reason I didn't fit in was because I didn't know how to act. How do you not know how to act? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. Um, I have 6 things that I want to talk to you guys about. Actually, it's a couple of things. It's more than 6 things. It's six, seven, eight. It's about 7 things I want to talk to you guys about. And the first one is, why don't I fit in? I don't know. Like I said, the anxiety, I would get really, really nervous. And I just and it followed me all the way until I was an adult, to where it was almost like I wouldn't go anywhere unless me and my family went. And when I say me and my family, I mean we're going deep. My husband and our kids. We're all going. I wouldn't go anywhere by myself. This stuff was on top of me so bad. It wasn't until 2021 when I took a trip by myself. And I may have taken a trip in 2020 by myself, by myself. But up until then, I didn't I I honestly didn't even know if I could make it to the destination by myself. It was like I was putting a cap on myself. I was like I was trying to keep me in a safe place. I wanted to keep me safe from harm. I wanted to keep me safe from other people, because what you have to remember is I had an issue. I had an issue. I have to stop saying I had an issue. What we have to remember is I was being bullied by someone that I was afraid of. And I I stood up to her, but I stood up to her one time, and I stayed away from this girl for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. I wouldn't look at her. I wouldn't go near her. I made it a point not to even allow her to get close enough to me within arm's reach at all. Whatever it took, that's what I did. So I trying to figure out, where is it that I belong? And I don't really know where I belong. I What I've done is figured out ways to have conversations with people without letting them all the way in. So if you think I'm healed, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. So for you, if you're trying to fit in, what can you do? And the best way to do that is to really know you, know your boundaries. Don't, and when I say know your boundaries, if someone begins to get a little too close to you, a little too close to you, you don't have to say, get away from me. You just find a way, a cordial way to move to the other side. Or what I would do, I would bend down to tie my shoe. or I would start looking around like, oh my goodness, hold on, I'll be right back. And I will make it find some reason to remove myself from the right there. Because I didn't even want to be by too many people. It was awkward. It was awkward. I found myself in the back a lot. And the reason I was in the back is because if I'm in the back, ain't nobody behind me and I can see everybody. Okay. So I would also, one of the things also you could do is figure out what type of things are interesting to you. Um, you know, try new stuff. Like I said, I went on a trip by myself. I went on a trip by myself. I wasn't forced to. I was asked to go on a trip and go to Houston. Was it Houston or Atlanta? I think it was Houston first. I went to Houston I flew to Houston by myself and found my way to the hotel. And it was, I was really becoming an independent person around that time. Yeah, I guess you could say that, an independent person. Um, but I really did try to get my girls to go. I tried to get my husband to go. I was like, you don't even have to go to what I got to do. Go to the thing that I need to do. I needed to go and I just didn't want to go by myself, but I did it anyway. And you know, I'm like I said, I'm still finding my way. One of the things you have to do also is consider how you feel about yourself. How do you see yourself? Um, and when I say how you see yourself, um, when I feel like an outsider, or I might be, I may not see how I may not really know how others um be, I have a really strong personality, and my personality comes out sometimes on the mean side, and I don't mean to be mean, and other people look at me as if I'm being mean, but that is just my natural defense mechanism. That is just mine. That's it, and it's really not even defense, being defensive. It's just naturally who I am. I grew up with that, like that. I grew up with that. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel, because I felt like for so many years I felt like I had to do that to people. I felt like I had to tell them off a little bit at the beginning of, the conversation or the relationship, but I really didn't even have to do that, but I didn't know. I didn't know that I didn't have to. So it became a habit. I have it under control now. I'm still a work in progress, but that's what it is. So the way I was seeing myself, I was kind of still seeing myself as, you know, as the shy person. Um, I was seeing myself sometimes as the person that's gonna tell you like it is, and there's never in between. There was never an in between. But how do you see yourself? You see how I'm talking about me? I'm shy, but I'm not. I'm straight to the point, but you know, somewhere in the middle. And what I had to do was allow myself really to get to know other people, so that I could so that they could really see me for the real me, this to see the softer side of me, right? um when you don't do this though. One of the things that I was doing for a very long time, when I would look at when I was considering how I saw myself, I was actually in my feelings and doing a lot of self-judgment and self-sabotage. You don't want to do that, because of course you're going to take the way you feel about you and make it seem really, really bad. And you know what? I'm probably doing that now and don't even realize it. But I'm a work in progress. Okay, I'm still a work in progress. Considering so let me ask you this because um a lot of us are hard on ourselves. We tend to look at ourselves like, you know, you you're a good person, but we always want to give ourselves the but. And most of the time, the but that we give ourselves, it's not the good but. It's more than likely it's a but like, you could do better or what have you, right? But we look at ourselves like, well, I'm just strange. I'm weird. We're not weird. We're not weird. We went through some stuff and we're just trying to work ourselves. We're trying to work ourselves through it. So, even though you see yourself that way, that's really not, that's really not the person. It's really not what other people see. If you know what I'm saying, if I'm saying that right. So don't do any of this self-diagnosis stuff. It's really not good. Um, the Another thing is don't pretend to be somebody else. When you're trying to fit in, don't try to be somebody, don't pretend. Be really, you have to be yourself. Even if you're on the hard side or you're more on the soft side, people will still they'll still be able to connect with you. You just have to not don't be fake. Don't be fake. Just be you. If they see something that's like, oh my gosh, and it's just like this. Because although I am straightforward, straight to the point, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Although that is me, at least I'm genuine. At least that I'm genuine with it. I mean, and it doesn't mean that you get cussed out every time I see you. It just means I'm real. And when I say I'm real, I might be talking about like me talking about me. Or I'm not gonna lie about the situation. I'm gonna tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So just be yourself. People will they'll figure out what it is that they like about you. Don't worry about what people don't like about you. And remember, when it comes down to fitting in, I want to drop this in here real quick. When it comes to fitting in, that fitting in doesn't come from you, but it really does. The fitting in, you say you don't fit in because of how you feel. I say I don't fit in because of how I feel. Guess what? About me. That's the problem. That's the problem. Don't be pretending to be other people. Okay, so here's one thing that I ran across, and I thought this was like I'm like I don't really know how to explain this one because this is body language. So I'm gonna do the body language, right? The body language will be more like, hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? No handshake, no smile, no giving, at least be receptive. Hey, how are you doing today? Such and such, blah, blah, blah. But no, hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you today? Good. I'm biting my lip. I'm just sitting here with my hands all clammed up. You know, at least I'm looking at you, but the way I'm looking at you is like, what you got to say? You know, So watch your body language. People do read into body language. I mean, it is what it is. When we go out and meet new people, that's the first thing people say. Oh, she was cordial, but you could tell she didn't want to be there. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? All right. So the other thing is, and like I said, the body language is you could tell when somebody's wearing their heart on their shoulder. You could tell when people are just don't give a rip. Our body does tell a lot. And is you're thinking about you not fitting in, but are you giving off that vibe? Okay. Learn how to open up. Now, let me help you here. You don't really learn how to open up. You learn how to listen for something that sparks your interest. Let me say that again. You don't really learn how to open up. You learn to listen for things that spark your interest, because if we're talking about learning how to open up, it's like, so a slew of people walk in the house, and there's you over here at the desk, and remember, what did it say? It said learn how to fit in. I mean, I'm sorry, learn how to what? Let me look at it again. Learn how to open up. What? How do you learn how to open up? You can't. You have to listen for things that are interesting to you, and you jump in. But it doesn't mean you ignore everything else, because as long as you're listening, it you are as long as you're listening, you are um not contributing, but you're participating, because you're mhm, mhm, mhm. So that's the only thing about that, because you don't learn. And I hate that I hate that I even had to use that phrase, learn how to open up. But that's it. You have to learn how to, they call it open up. It's opening up doesn't mean you're, hey guys, I want to tell you all about all my life. I want to tell you guys about what all's been going on with me. You don't have to do that with strangers. You don't have to do that with anybody. You do want to learn how to have conversations, and these conversations don't have to lead into your bank statement. They don't have to lead into your car payment. They don't have to lead into who you have for your car insurance. It doesn't have to lead into who's doing your taxes and those type of things. Okay. So all I'm saying is just listen during that conversation, and I promise you, you'll hear something where you can, oh wow, yes, me too. you know, that's fitting in. All right. Overcome trust issues is the next thing I want to talk to you about. Now, overcome trust issues. That is the number one thing for me. Um, and I'm a work in progress, because it was a female that bullied me, because it was a female that would, hit me and push me, and talk about me and call me names to my face, um, and steal things from me, and lie and say that I stole things from her, and she lied and said that she my gave me my jacket back, but she didn't. So anyway, trust issues, it's definitely a work in progress. You just have to, you're not going to come out of the gate trusting everybody, and nobody expects you to come out the gate trusting every single body. You have to learn who you can trust. You have to learn who you can trust. Don't be so gullible, or and come out, and just start, what happened to me, and this happened to me, and blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, and this. That's not what you need to do. And I didn't do that, and I'm not saying don't do it because I didn't do it, but um, it's you just look for the person that you have conversations with, and they are real. Okay, you want to look for somebody. You want to, when you find that friend, that you're gonna connect with. Ooh, excuse me. There's that yawn. But you're looking for a person that you can really connect with, and they are actually listening to you. And you can tell by a person's body language if they're listening to you to get the info or if they're listening to you with care. Um, so that's, overcoming trust issues. You do have to learn how to trust again. You do. And it takes time it takes time to do that. I, man, I work with women. Roz, you work? Yeah, I'll work. What I mean is I'm in a business and there's tons of women. I've been betrayed. Listen, I was betrayed and bullied, and I was betrayed and talked about in the business. So I was bullied and betrayed when I was in middle school, and then the same type of betrayal, I experienced it again in adulthood recently. 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 You get to a point where you really do. You get to a point where you be like, well, fuck everybody. And you don't want to get to that point because, but that right there is like, what the freak is going on? What are people doing? Why are we going through this again? And the thing that got me was y'all knew what I dealt with. You knew that I had insecurities with females like this, but you still did it. So now I'm on another level. Now I'm on another level dealing with trust issues. I just know who I can't trust. You know what I mean? But I don't let that get to me like, oh my gosh. It's not, so I'm at a point now where it doesn't have me feeling like I should go take a nap. It's not that didn't make me feel anxious. It didn't make me feel depressed. I was pissed. I was pissed. I was pissed. I mean, and here's the deal. I didn't even say anything to him. I didn't say anything to him. I mentioned it to one of them, but bless her heart, she said that wasn't me. I'm like, okay. She said it wasn't her. I said, okay. But it was a slew of them. And I'm just like, whatever. But anyway, so when it comes back and when it circles around again, now you're like, okay, who can you trust? Who can you trust? Right now, I just got two friends. I'm not kidding. My husband and my mentor. Those are my only friends. I'm serious. And it is you probably thinking like, how do you do? Well, who do you go to the movies with? Well, who do you go do this with? Who do you go eat with? Who you? I can eat with anybody. I can eat with anybody. And you start talking about some bull crap that I don't want to hear about. I'll tell you these days. I mean, not that right there is a work in progress too, because I've gotten to the point to where I'm not gonna bite my tongue anymore, and I'm not gonna sit here and just you're not gonna bullshit me in my face. Period. Take it how you want. Okay. So overcoming trust issues. I told y'all I'm a work in progress. I'm still working on these things. I never did say I don't say bad words. I never did say that. I didn't say that. You just assumed. I didn't say that. But this is just I'm just expressing myself. That's all it is. I'm just expressing myself. So here's the other thing. When you are with other people, when you're with other people and you really feel like you don't feel it, you don't fit in. Now, other people and the reason we go around and say we don't excuse me, we don't, so the reason we this is the reason we do go around and say we don't fit in. We say that because we talk about other people not fitting in. That's where that comes from. We go around and we say, they don't fit in, don't invite them. They don't talk, they don't invite them." Well, the thing is, you want to know all their business, and they're not telling you all their business. They're more on the quiet side. They don't know you. And if you're looking for somebody to get all the info from, or you want to know all their dirt, maybe you should just come right out and just say, "Hey, we told you all about us, you tell us about you." But for me, I listen and I ask questions. I ask questions because remember when I told you guys, when you're opening up and you're where is it? Which one was it? I said, learn how to open up. It's really not about learning how to open up. It's about listening. And again, that's the one of the things you're going to ask questions. So if you don't hear anything to spark you, or to get you going to ask other questions. Okay, I'm gonna get off of here in a minute because I'm about to be yawning like crazy. I'm so sorry. But if you're listening to the conversations going on, you'll know some of these things and things that you have in common with other people. And basically, you want to show interest too. Don't let everybody else ask the questions. That's if you feel like you don't fit in. Ask questions. People are going to tell you a little bit about themselves without having to, like I said, give you their bank account number. Ask them, "Hey, I mean, if you're married, say, 'Hey, are any of you ladies married? Hey, do you have kids? I've got 4 kids. Does anyone have children? Okay. I'm also a grandma. Does anyone have any grandkids?'" You see what I mean? Does anyone a I don't work outside of the home. I don't work a 9 to 5 job. I might ask, "Are any of you guys self-employed?" I'm not going to ask them, "Where do you work?" I'm going to say, "Are any of you guys self-employed?" I'm looking to see who I might be able to have a real conversation with, because if everybody at the table well, everybody is sitting in the seats. If everybody is dating, or if everybody is, it could, I don't know, never been married, not dating, no kids, our conversation's going to be not really limited. But I mean, what are we going to talk about? What church you go to? Okay, well, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna find some kind of common ground. Okay, well, all right, well, cool. So if nobody's married but me, nobody has kids but me, nobody is a grandma but me. Next question, guess what it's gonna be? Y'all travel? Who likes to travel? Me. I love traveling. Where have you been anywhere? I'm just saying some of the things you could do. You could say, "Have you ever been out of the country?" And luckily, I've been to South Africa, so I can say, "Yeah, I've been to South Africa before, blah, 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 this and the other," and talk a little bit about that. At least you can find some common ground to talk to people. You don't always have to not fit in. We don't fit in because we're looking not to fit in. Don't sound good. We're looking not to fit in. Yeah. But again, like I said, the fitting in, we're only doing that because we say that about other people and we see other people that aren't fitting in. So, again, I'm just going to tell you, you don't if you feel like you don't fit in, think about it. You know, what find out where you belong. Think, ask yourself, how do I feel about myself? How do I feel about myself? Because you may really find that when you start thinking about it and evaluating your own situation, you may just figure it out like, I do fit in. I don't know why I'm sabotaging myself like that. Why am I doing this? And considering, what you look like or what you think about you, we're our worst critics. You don't forget, allow yourself some time to get to know other people. And then you got to get out of your house too to meet other people. So depending on what it is, really the issue, that issue might just be coming from a place of self-judgment and that self-sabotage. Nothing may be even wrong with you. Then don't go starting this, oh yeah, I'm weird and I'm strange. And if you're saying that about other people right now, I want you to think about the things that I'm saying now. When you're saying people are weird and people are strange, ain't no what why they weird, why are they strange? That's the problem now. Quit talking about people. Quit calling people names. Stop trying to diagnose. You don't know what the hell going on with people. You don't know what they've been through. And you sitting up there talking about, man, I don't like being around here. She act funny. She's strange. How she may not want to be around you. Maybe you're strange. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but we like to go around and judge people when we go around and talk and say that how we feel and what we think about this person, always trying to give somebody a doggone diagnosis. Go diagnose yourself. No, no, no. Forget the diagnosis. Do a self-awareness check. That's probably what people need to do, a self-awareness check. Again, be yourself. Don't be trying to be nobody else. And hi, how are you? Because listen, you can't. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't keep this up but so long. So if you're out, yes, how are you guys doing? I'm doing great. And then you get in the car, you get on the car, and I'm just saying because the car is allowed when the you're in the car talking about, hey girl, yes, honey, I was blah blah blah, but yet you were just with them talking about I am blah 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 and talking like that. I mean, people don't even do that no more. So stop. Some people are still doing it. Please stop. Stop with the fakeness. Stop with the fakeness. You don't want to fit in. She don't fit in. Why? She's fake. Neither, there's two fakes. A fake and a fake. You talk about everybody, and you tell everybody's business to everybody you're talking about everybody else. All right. And using using good friendly body language. And again, I'm gonna keep bringing this up because the reason we feel like we don't fit in is because we think something wrong with us. Say that again. We think we don't fit in because we think something wrong with us. We're just reserved. We're just on the reserve side. That's it. That's it. We're just reserved. We reserve. We just hold a little bit back because we don't want to give anybody the opportunity to step on our feet. So we keep you far enough out that you can't even get to the tip of our toes. Using oh, how to learn how to open up. I told you about that too. You can't learn how to open up. You listen for things that spark your interest, and then you embark on conversations. That's how. People don't just, hey, how are you guys doing? Oh, hey, my name is such and such. I do this and I do that and blah, blah, blah. You listen for things that are interesting. That's what you do. You listen up for things that are interesting. Overcoming trust issues, it's a work in progress. It comes with time, but you have to change things also within yourself. You need to, because and we'll get more into this because I had to read a lot of books. I had to do a lot of personal development. It's not just motivation, y'all. I'm talking about deep, deep, deep tissue, deep scar tissue type personal development. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know what that is. Deep, deep tissue, like a deep tissue massage when they get in with the elbow and they just need knitting. I mean, really getting into it. It's more than this right here. They put their elbows in it. And I've seen where sometimes they would actually put their knee in it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm talking, I mean, when I tell you they put the elbows in it too, they actually like raise up and get as much um body weight on there. That's the kind of personal development I had to go through to overcome these trust issues. It was some hard times. There were some times I didn't even trust myself to make good decisions. It's a work in progress. And again, ask questions, ask questions, ask people, hey, you know, well, how long have y'all known each other? Wow, really? How long have you known such and such? 2 years. And that was one thing. I've a really good. I have a. We used to be really really good friends. I guess we're still good friends. I don't know, but I had a good friend, and we would I talk to her every day. Um, our kids are really close and everything. And um, she had friends from way back in the day, high school friends, and I'm the new girl on the block. And you could tell I was the new girl on the block because their bond was so close. Their bond was so close. But what I so for a while I was feeling like the outsider. But I had to be honest with myself. I was the one that didn't walk in the door. So I walked in the door and they were cool ladies. They were nice ladies. Um so you have to figure out, oh, do you even though everybody's not married, do you have kids? Yep. Okay, that might be what we have in common. Do you have grandkids? Okay, then we got something in common here. You married? I'm about to get married, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. But don't go around feeling like you don't feel it fit in. When you feel like you don't fit in, that's just you giving yourself a hard time. That's all it is. You giving yourself a hard time. So lighten up a little bit and use the tips that I gave you, because I'm telling you right now, all it is, you feeling like you don't fit in, that's anxiety. That's all it is. It's anxiety. And I'm telling you, when I had to realize I have some form of anxiety. um I didn't know. I really didn't. I didn't know. Um and like I said, I'm thinking, am I an introvert? Am I somebody who's really off to myself and do my own thing, you know? But I do like people. I can interact. I don't know. I don't know, but I know one thing. If you are someone who have been bullied, I hope that the tips that I gave you will help you get to the next wherever it is that you're headed to. I hope that everything that I said, even if you can't relate to it, I'm hoping that you were able to find something to help you get closer to a healing state. It doesn't go away. You learn how to deal with it. You learn how to live with it, but to help other people. So what's going to happen is, as I find as I find what works for me, I'll bring it to you. And as you find what helps you, you take it to someone else. What we have to do is we have to stop being quiet about how we really feel and how the bullying affected us. We have to stop acting like, okay, well, damn, she's 51 years old now. She ain't got over that yet. The old me would have said, no mf'er. I ain't over it yet. And I'm glad I'm not over it, because once I feel like I'm over it or I've been delivered from it, then I'm going to be on to something else. I need to be in here. I need to still feel the effects from this thing. I have to feel the effects of this thing, because I want to be able to really help other people get to make life a little bit easier. I'm not here to heal you. I'm not here to heal your pain. I'm not here to do any of that. But I want to let you know that there is light on the other side. And life is what you make it, not what that idiot made it when you were younger and couldn't defend yourself. For those of you out there who are bullying people or have bullied people in some fashion, even as adults, people act like they don't know how to talk to people. I'm gonna be honest. I've had to apologize to people on my team several times, and I've had to do it publicly because it it sounds like humiliation, but regardless of what it is, it's wrong. And you have to listen. Here, this is the way I do it. If you show your if you show your ass in public, you need to get your ass whipped in public. In other words, if you do something to someone in public, you should apologize to them in public. Don't do it behind closed doors. You do it in public where the mess took place. If you're out there and you are bullying people as an adult because you feel like you feel like that you're just, and I hate to say this, you're just that big and bad. You probably got bullied when you were younger too. And I want you to stop right now. If you're going to a job every single day and you're nitpicking one person, you're doing that because more than likely you were bullied by somebody. You were bullied by somebody. It's a pattern and you have to break it. My bullying didn't come in the form when I didn't bully people. I'm only 5 foot. No, seriously, I'm only 5 foot. And when I was in high school, my highest weight, well, the most weight I was weighing was maybe 110. maybe 110, maybe 110, no more than I know. I don't think I was one. I might have been 115, but I'm pretty sure I was 110 most of the time. They would have broke me in two. Now I would have scratched, kicked, ran, did everything I could to get away from them. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I run? Why didn't I do the same thing to that girl? Why didn't I do that? And I'm not asking myself for an answer. I'm like, that all I had to do was show her one good time. You want to be scrappy? Let's go. But I was scared. I was scared. I really was. I was scared of that girl. I was scared of that girl. But this anxiety, when I was gonna get on here tonight, I was thinking to myself, okay, y'all, I'm serious. Little things started bothering me right before I got on, right before I was to get on. Little things just pop up out of nowhere. And I knew, and I kept looking at that word. I said, oh, that's how you trying to keep me quiet. You're trying to mess with me so that I don't talk about you. And it was that word anxiety. It didn't want me to reveal the things that it affects. Feeling like you don't fit in. That's one. But there are other things that we go through, um, from being bullied. And we'll get into those things. But today I want you to learn how to fit in. You already do fit in, but you have to know that you fit in. You have to get to a place where and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get in there and you're so overwhelmed you forget to do the listening. If you just listen, you'll know when to speak. If you just listen, you'll know when to and how to participate by nodding your head. Yes, I agree. Smiling in agreement, um, eye contact, the facial expressions. You will learn those things as they come. It doesn't come just all of a sudden. You have to allow them to show up. So don't go in with everything. So I'll tell you this, don't zip your purse all the way up. Leave it open about this much. Leave it open about this much. And I say that because sometimes we go in so closed off and got our everything so clutched. Hey, would you like for me to put your purse in there? No, no, thank you. And the reason you said it like that is because the last time I let somebody take my purse off, they such and such. They went through my pocketbook, or money got missing. There you go with that trust thing. We have to learn how to trust again. And it does come with time, but it starts with us. Build the relationship. Build the relationship. Interact with people. Give people a chance. And when expect good things out of the conversation, expect things out of the people. And if you have a chance and you have to talk about it for whatever the reason is, then that's when you go right on into say, and it is what it is. Say, you guys say, guys, I appreciate the conversation today. I haven't had a conversation with women like this in a very long time. Really? Yes. What happened? Because they're going to ask you, and you could just tell them, I was bullied when I was younger, and it kept me quiet so long. I was bullied when I was younger, and I forgot how to speak up for myself. I was bullied so long. I was bullied uh, long ago, and I just didn't really know how to get past being okay with talking again and being this close to women again. And that's okay. That is okay. So don't always think everybody is out to get you. That's the because I'm telling you right now, what you're thinking, you're gonna attract it. We'll talk about that another day. We'll talk about that another day. But guys, thank you for jumping on tonight. Thank you for listening. And again, I do hope that you are able to use this in some fashion in your life to move forward. We're not claiming anxiety. I just realized that I was dealing with a little piece of it from being bullied, and I needed to talk about it. And I just wanted to talk about how it affected me and sometimes how it still does affect me. So, even when, and I'll say this and then I'm going to jump off, but sometimes people will say things to me and they're insensitive. And that's one of the things too. We'll talk about these things because it's just a trigger. It's just a trigger.
I'm not sure I understand.
Hush, Siri.
Uh-huh.
Siri, cancel.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is just it is so many things. It's so many things. That insensitivity, it hurts. That hurts. That really hurts. That's kind of that right there. Um, so I'm just gonna leave it right there because I could keep going and going and going, and then I have to get into another conversation about another emotion. But we're not gonna do that tonight. So anyway, it's late, and I've been yawning like 1,000 times. I hope this helps. Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys later. Good night. Can you tell that I'm sleepy? I'm going to bed. You guys, good night.